Hi, this is James Glass with James Glass Company, and we're here at my personal house at 507 7th Street in Roanoke, Virginia. And I'm doing a pretty large rehab, a complete gut and rebuild of this house. And you can see all the old wooden lath and plaster have been removed, and over on the other side of that plastic right there was a rotten porch that was coming down on the front of the bungalow. And this video is one of a bunch in this playlist on this renovation. And this video is about some more structural problems that existed that we found here in the house. Since I shot the last video of structural problems, which showed various really sloppy construction techniques, like, those collars are just horrendous, and that ceiling was made out of 2x4s and that kind of stuff. Let me show you a few structural problems we found over here. This was pretty interesting. This house has a typical Craftsman bungalow roof with a 12-12 pitch and blah blah blah, and it goes down into an 8-12 pitch. And then it has this little oversized dormer type porch thing in back, and that's what you can see right here. Let me go out here and actually show you this. This was stuff somebody walled this up in here. This was some kind of porch at one time, and we had already torn this down, but where that rotten little 2x8 sticks out, they had added like another 2 feet of overhang in a porch, and done a very bad job. I don't know how that was even, magic was holding it together. And they scabbed on lumber. You can see, actually, like sort of over here, you can see that this was the original open-ended soffit. You can see the half-circle detail on the end. And then somebody scabbed on lumber when they added the porch out. We've ripped it back to the original state. And anyway, this little porch type dormer, kind of a semi-salt box style, sort of a little atypical on bungalows of this period, but this basically exists in the back. Great. So it's got a 1.5, 2-ish 12 pitch, about a 212 pitch roof, maybe a little less, right above us, which is metal. That's what you see above these 2x6s. And here is all the crazy structural mistakes. So this is not quite a flat roof, but it's pretty darn flat. And it has 2x6s instead of 2x8s, and they are on 24 to 30 inch centers. There's no real header that supports them at the end. The only thing supporting them is this 2x4 nailed over to what is essentially walls of glass. Just so sloppy. I just can't believe it. There was no header here. There actually was at one time a door right here, and I'm going to be leaving that out. You can see the threshold that was at the bottom. This is going to be an open concept area here. Over in this corner, I'm going to be putting a coffee maker and a small sink. There's going to be washer dryer and below, so there's water and plumbing. And there'll be a small couch out here, and I am going to put windows all around this. And this will be a nice place in the morning. It's a 2-bedroom, and the bedrooms are over there, so this will be a nice place in the morning to have coffee. And I'll be taking this porch floor up and leveling it and getting it straight. But at any rate, you can see kind of what I'm talking about in terms of their original structuring. Absolutely no header. Basically, the sloppiest of the sloppy work, really. Just horrible. And it gets worse. So in here, this is the exterior wall, and it is load-bearing. It's holding up the roof. You can see the dark areas between the wood is actually the metal roof. And they basically, instead of framing this correctly, they kind of scabbed on some 2x4s, laying flat across an open closet. It's spanning this entire distance. You can see here they didn't even take a very good job cutting it, and it's dropped over the years. And this is holding up the entire exterior wall, all the load. We get a lot of snow here sometimes, as much as 12 to 18 wet inches before it melts. And this is their idea of just sort of like a crap together sole plate. It's on an angle, and of course the weight that's transferred down, wants to slide. Here's another part of the sole plate, very crappy. This is a load-bearing wall. This goes all the way down to the earth. But they put they cantered the load-bearing wall over, which is not so great. They could have done a little bit better job here. They've at least got this span closer to 16 inches. It averages about 18 inches on center, where the 2x8s are. But then check this out. These 2x4s are jack studs, about 2 feet on center, and they go up and there's no top plate. They turn to 2x6 on the side, and basically the sheeting is holding it together. No top plate whatsoever. We'll fix all that. Just crap work. Just really crappy. So that's the kind of restructuring that we're going to have to do here. And I'll get in here and, rip all this out, fix it, put in the proper sole plates and top plates, and we'll put in the proper headers. Since that is going to be windows all the way around that little porch area, which is kind of what it was originally, it's going to need a nice strong header in there. And I'm going to use a triple header, 2x10, to span that. It's about 9 feet, 10 feet. So we'll fix it all up, and we'll get it right. Thanks for watching this video on some of the structural mistakes over here at my house at 507 7th Street, and I'll post a bunch more in the series.